today we're gonna be the Under RV Explorers. Because we think we have a leak under there. So we're gonna check it out. Traveling, exploring, and learning on the road. Fulltime Family Road Trip.
We've had a water leak for a while now under the trailer. It only leaks sometimes. It appears to be fresh water. It's been going on for several weeks, so we're finally going to check it out and see what's going on with it. When we look down underneath, we don't really see anything under the trailer because it has this cover covering up whatever is underneath there. So we're going to take it off and see what we can find. Okay, let's see.
I'm gonna do it.
Okay, come and screw this one.
There's a bunch of those to hold it on. Well, if that wasn't there.
It's day 2 of this project. We stopped last night to have dinner and then it was getting dark. So we got a bunch of the screws out. We did not get the underbelly uncovered, and so we're going to finish today. But as I look under here this morning, there is water leaking again. So that's what we're trying to figure out, where it's coming from.
It's going across the roof.
Across the roof?
Yeah, it's going that way. It's coming from a little hole right there.
Yeah, but where's it coming from? Behind that.
Ah, it feels good right here.
That's what we need to figure out. Where is it leaking from? So let's get to work.
Rotted and it's leaking. It looks like it's leaking out of this fill. It looks like we have 2 freshwater tanks and not 1. Still may have to pull the other one to be able to look at this one from the front. I'm assuming these are both fresh.
It appears that the leak is coming from the freshwater tank. It's possibly leaking from both of them. We're not sure. We have to get this rotten plywood out before we can check it out. But the tanks are full. We filled them up because we had a suspicion that's where the leak was coming from. And so we filled them up to check if the leak would come back, and it did. So now we have the sewer hose rigged up to the freshwater drain, and we are draining the tanks. Once it's done draining, we'll take that rotten plywood out and see what's going on with the tanks. Alright, the tank is drained. We just pulled this pipe out from the middle of the 2, so now we have to figure out if this pipe has a leak in it, if this has a leak in it, or if it was just a poor connection.
Alright, so we got the hose off. It doesn't look like there's any tears or cracks specifically. But I think we're going to try to replace this just because it doesn't look like a very good piece of hose. And then we got to pull the 2 tanks down one at a time, replace the rotted wood, and then we'll put this back together with the new hose, and then we'll fill it with water tomorrow and see if we have a leak again.
We got the new plywood under both of the tanks. Now we need to put the hose in the middle, attaching the 2 tanks together. And then tomorrow we will fill it up with water and see if it holds. And if it does and there's no leaks, then we'll put the cover back on the underbelly. Do you have anything to add?
This job sucks.
Alright, we're back under here. It's day 3. We're going to hook up this pipe with these clamps. We got a new pipe. We'll get it hooked up, hopefully nice and tight, and it won't leak. All right, we've got that in. We're gonna fill it up with water and make sure it doesn't drip. We've got some good news and some bad news, of course. Unfortunately for us, the bad news is coming in pairs this time. We did get the leak fixed, and so that is the good news. One of the bad news is that 2 of the other connectors are also leaking, but that's going to be a super easy fix, so we're not even concerned with that. The bad news is, or I should say, the really bad news is, the new boards that we put in cracked right in half under the weight of the tank. So we get to do it all again. We're gonna have to take those boards out. We're gonna try to add some extra brackets like this one in the middle, and hopefully this will be the end of it.
Alright, let's show you what we did. Alright, so I bought this metal strap from Home Depot. I cut it to length, I drilled holes, and I reinforced it. I replaced this board because the other one was completely split in half. That one I'm still going with the cracked piece. I have another board to replace it if it cracks too much, but I'm curious to see how the metal straps are going to hold it. Both of the freshwater tanks were leaking off the backside where the hose connects, so I had to cut the tank and then I put some thread seal on it and tighten them up and put new hose on, so it should be good. So now it's left is to fill it up and see what happens. See if we have any leaks, see if it's going to hold.
I'm getting pretty used to hanging out underneath the house, but it's almost over. The leaks are fixed. The new boards are up with the extra support. There are no drips. Everything is good and secure. We're gonna put the kids to work to put the cover back on here.